Hey everybody, welcome to the garage. As you can see right here over my shoulder is the infamous and ever wonderful Jaguar 4.2 XK6 that used to be in the donor, so you can probably tell what this video is going to be about. If you watched episode 1, you will have heard me mention that as part of my videos and in the content that I produce, you're going to see it warts and all, trust me. That's right, every gory detail, everything that I did or had to do in order to make a thing happen. So rest assured, there is most certainly a story to tell. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So sit down, sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and roll the intro. Hi, I'm Rob. It's garage time. Hey, today is another blazing hot day. We're in the beginning of this 6-day heat wave here in eastern Massachusetts, well, all across Massachusetts actually. Today, I am out here sweating bullets, but beginning the disassembly of the engine compartment, beginning the project whereby we will remove the engine to go live in its new home over there. And so far what I've got done is I got the radiator top tank out and I got the windshield washer tank out. I've got some more hoses to do on this side, and then get down deeper in there, undo the fuel injection, the fuel return line, and then I can start taking the exhaust apart on this side. So yeah, time to thrash. So we're out here and I'm undoing the exhaust pipe flange bolts. They were a little tight, but you can get a wrench on them, and I have not even touched this one yet, but they just kind of come undone. Yeah. And that's because I'm looking at these, and what I think I'm realizing is the studs, these studs that are in the flange. Ow! Damn, that fender's hot. The studs that are on these exhaust flanges are, much like these nuts, made out of brass, and so they are in fact not corroded to the nut. Here we go. Oh wait, oh, this is a brass nut as well. Well, how about that? That's cool. Oh, there we go. Yeah, come on, you can get on there. There we go. There we go. 8 nuts later. So here we go. But I will do this. I guess it's stuck on that pipe, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to get under there and wiggle that off the studs on the rear manifold. all I had to do was kick the door shut and it fell down. Right on. Yay, okay, now let's see about taking this thing off. Yay, there we go. Ta-da! Oh, looks good. Let's get the other one off too. And then, boom. Sweet. Looks good. Several big old hose clamps later, and we've got the air filter out, and we've got the intake elbow out. Here we have this bellows manifold that I'm going to replace because it's ancient and beat. And here we have this silicone sleeve, and here we have a cast aluminum elbow, because of course it's cast aluminum because it's British. Oh, both mounts are torn. Both bottom mounts were torn, so this thing was just kind of flopping around in there. There we go. There is the rather hefty. This is the fuel pipe, the fuel hose going to the fuel rail right here. This is the upper fuel return pipe. There's a bolt there and 2 bolts there. This is the cold start injector. Yep. And the fuel rail is off. All those hoses are getting replaced, so I don't mind cutting them. Like, is that 7/16 as well? Oh. Injectors 5 and injector 6. It is another blazing hot day here in the northeastern United States. We are in day 5 of this oppressive July heat wave here in Massachusetts. I took yesterday off. Today is Saturday, July 23rd. Yesterday, of course, the 22nd. I just stayed inside in air-conditioned comfort, editing episode 9 of Garage Time. Thursday, I got a bunch done, even though I didn't videograph any of it because it was so hot out. And in this blazing heat, the GoPros tend to freak out. They overheat pretty easily. But I got a bunch done. So let me show you what happened there. Right now, what you can see is I'm avoiding touching the fender because the fender is 165 degrees. So I'm not touching that because it burns the flesh. At any rate, I've been able to clean off a whole bunch of stuff from the intake manifold. And I was able to get the fuel injection harness off of the manifold. This right here is a coolant manifold that has the thermostat housing at this end. 2 bolts broke off here because they're corroded into the coolant manifold right here. There's another one on the inside I haven't bothered really to try to undo. and I'm pretty sure that I can get the intake manifold off with this coolant manifold still on there, even though it occludes some of the nuts. There's 18 nuts that I got to undo to get that thing off. So that's what I'm working on today. Let's go put some gloves on and see what we can make happen. This bolt was stuck the last time I cranked on it with a wrench, as was this. But then I put a wrench on this today just for fun, I guess. Lo and behold, it works. One thing that I've come to understand, this bolt came out. Now, you can see that this bolt is turning with the manifold. And what that says is that the bolt isn't so much corroded into the threads as it was corroded into the bolt hole of the manifold. So I'm gonna continue to wrench on it a little bit. Don't need that broken thing anymore. Get out of here. Can in fact crack this loose like the other one. If the bolt was going to break, it would have broken by now. But it didn't. There it is. Ta-da! The intake manifold, coolant manifold is now free from its place on the intake manifold. Got it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and one left to do right here. How am I gonna get at that one, I wonder? What I thought I would try is this. This is one of my metric flex, my metric universal sockets. And it so happens that 13mm and 1/2 inch are really close. You can see how well that 1/2 inch wrench fits in there. So what I got to do is this. Present the socket to the slot. Oops. Put the extension into the socket. And then by feel, get the socket onto the nut, and it is on the nut. And I'll get the ratchet and done. And there's the nut. The 13mm socket. So there's that. And then let's go get a rubber mallet and clonk on this thing a little bit and see if that helps. Well, given that that thing's been on there for 37 years, it doesn't surprise me that it's a bit stuck to the head. I'm pretty sure what's going on here is the aluminum intake manifold has corroded itself onto the studs. And if we get up nice and close there, you can see a little ring of corrosion in between the steel stud and the aluminum of the manifold. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do right now. Onward. Hey everybody, we're out here today. It's the 26th of July 2022, and in the last installment you saw me thrashing around with the intake side of the XK6, and the intake manifold was pretty well stuck to the head, so I gave it a shot, a healthy shot of PB Blaster, and here we are 2 days later. It's been just sitting, and today I think you can actually see some movement. A little bit. It's still pretty stuck on the bottom studs, but I have an idea and I'm going to try that. Tools are required. So what I've got here is one of my good old cobalt bottle jacks. And what I'm going to try to do is fit it in here, in this space, and see if I can press that away from the block. Oh look. Well, what do you know? There's the bottle jack placed on both the engine mount and the engine block, with the piston pushing on the bottom side of the intake manifold. This is the smaller extension from my shop press, and oh. That looks all right. What's breaking? What am I breaking? This is the part that always makes me a little nervous. Oh, look at that. That moved nicely. Got it. There it is. The infamous, never wonderful Jaguar Series 3 fuel injection intake manifold. It's barely damaged. Cool. Yay. Okay, so the jack worked mint. I like when I have a good idea. These are the intakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coolant passage, coolant passage, coolant passage, coolant passage, coolant passage. Actually, these passages are in the intake manifold, but they're fed from that coolant manifold that was on top of the intake manifold. Right there, Jaguar, 4.2 liter. Yeah. Just like a Series 1 XKE. Let's take some more stuff apart. Yeah! About 16. Perfect. There we go. Hey, that was easy. Oops. Did I break that pulley? Oh no. Yep, I sure did. That. Ooh. How about that? Man, this thing has fought me every step of the way today. But, you know, 37-year-old car with 37-year-old bolts that have two down, two to go. Ooh, excuse me. Once more with feeling. Boom! I did it. The power steering pump is out. That worked nicely. Okay. So now, where did my 1/2-inch socket go? Let's go find it. Remember when I was whining about how I couldn't find my 1/2-inch socket? The one I meant was my fantastic 6-point Cobalt. But I found it. And where I found it was in the toolbox, on the socket holder, right next to the 9/16, where it was supposed to be. The radiator support. Air conditioning condenser. The radiator. Woo! Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle. Come on. Out you go. So down in there, I'm going to move the camera so you can see a little bit better what's going on. Yeah, check that out. When Pam and I bought this car, spring of 2018, and the advertisement said, I want to sell this car to somebody who's going to restore it. Got the skills to put it back together. It's got some rust, but it's fixable. No, it's not. You've seen the hole in the driver's side floor. And this right here is the bottom radiator support. Yeah. Yeah, here's the oil cooler. We're not going to take that off yet, but it's stuff like this. The radiator support is gone. Yeah, I think we're done for today. The Thrash was substantial and worthwhile. Okay, so let's take a look at the belt tensioner on the alternator. Yeah. Aha! So there is the adjuster for the alternator. And as you will see, the adjuster for the alternator has a lovely protective coating of oil and dirt. I'm going to clean some of that off, not all of it, and then remove that. And I had those bolts right there, giving them a shot of PB Blaster to help loosen them up. So let's see if we can get those undone first, and then we'll get after that tensioner, and with any luck the alternator will just pop right out. Yeah, pop right out. We will, in fact. Yeah. Well now, how about that? Cool. There we go. We will, can you see my hand? Hi everybody. Oh! Yeah, I wanted to avoid that. There we go. There. There we go. There it is. That tensioner did not argue with me even a little bit. There it is right there in all its grungy, greasy glory. Come on. There it is. Ew, gross. No wonder it works so well. Now let's get that alternator bracket off of there. The alternator bracket comes undone. Ew, gross. Oh look, there's a fuse. Oh my. Yeah, might as well undo the motor mounts. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? Come on. Like I said, this engine is coming out at some point. Some point soon. I think I'm done with this for this afternoon. The alternator's out. Now we got to do a whole bunch of cleaning. So let's turn the cameras off, call it an afternoon. Now, before you get too worried about whether I got water inside the engine, I just want to let you know that I did have the presence of mind to seal it up before I started pressure washing. And the way I did that was to first stuff the intake and exhaust ports full of shop rags, and then after cleaning the intake and exhaust mating surfaces with brake clean, cover the whole thing up with a double layer of gaff tape. And that worked pretty well. And that also made me feel a whole lot better about leaving the engine out in the car for the couple weeks it took before my son Cody was available to come out and help me pull it out of the car. And we're getting really close to that. So let's keep cleaning. So if you're gonna pressure wash an oily, greasy, filthy engine, prepare to get splashed back with a lot of oily, greasy, filthy water. After all that blasting with the pressure washer, things looking pretty good. That looks all clean. Oh look, it's down to the rusty steel as opposed to the paint. Been wanting to get this bit clean right here. This is the, right there is the connection for the oil cooler. I'm not taking that apart until we actually get to the day when the engine comes out, which is going to be this coming Wednesday. Let's get under the car, shall we? Here we go. Going in. I'm going in. Yeah, that looks pretty good. The bottom's all clean. It's clean up into the sides there somewhat. Here is the infamous and ever wonderful Jaguar transmission mount for the XJ6 transmission. What I need to do now is undo that, drain the transmission fluid, and then I can then I'm gonna undo the flex plate bolts. Yeah, oh look, apparently I left the keys in it the last time I ran it. Boink. You nitwit. Okay, let's go prepare ourselves for getting oily and dirty again. Here are the church folks across the street. Oh, that was easy. I have to say, there's a whole lot of this Jaguar has been successfully preserved by its layer of greasy dirt. There we go. ATF. Blech. So here's a pro tip that I figured out when I was undoing the torque converter from the flex plate. I had a really hard time getting at the bolts from underneath, in between the engine and the transmission. And what I discovered was that once I took the starter out, the torque converter attachment bolts were right there in the starter opening on the bell housing. It was super easy to lock the flywheel in place by jamming a big screwdriver in between the ring gear teeth and the edge of the starter opening, and then just putting a wrench on the torque converter attachment bolts on the flex plate through that opening, and made life super easy for me. Hopefully that will help somebody if they're trying to separate their XK6 from the Borg Warner BW66. Wednesday, September 7th at 9:57 in the morning. I'm waiting for my son Cody to come out. He should be out here around 1 in the afternoon, and we are going to pull the engine out of that thing. Now let's support the front of this thing so it doesn't fall down and crush anybody's feet. There's that. There we go. Oh, that's not. Oh, it's not nearly as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Oh, was that thing in the way?
A little bit.
Just knock the handle over. There we go. Don't worry, it's going to stop. It'll stop. Or not. I know, right? It's one of my favorite tools. Yeah, it is.
Always reminds me of RoboCop when he takes his helmet off at the end.
Yeah. I know. And the thing about RoboCop is those bolts are entirely too long. It's like,
yeah, they're like into
what?
his skull.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, they're so long that they would interfere in the middle of his head, and you wouldn't be able to get one in all the way.
Yeah.
So he'd be putting his helmet on, and one would get stuck, and it'd be still like a half-inch outside of his head. And he's like, "Oh, mother!" Oh, engineers, I hate them. Oh, look at that! Perfect. One goes there.
Oh.
One goes here, and up we go.
It's already like unbolted and everything?
Yep, it is.
Wow. Huh.
Look at that.
That was easy.
There's that. pull that off. These come out. One oil cooler line, another oil cooler line. I thought long and hard about this the other day, how I was going to seal that off. So what I did was I cut a piece of motorcycle inner tube, and then we put the clamping plate back on, and then shove a couple of 1/2-inch nuts on there, and then this will seal that off nicely. There.
Cool.
The oil cooler is sealed. And then we can take the entire oil cooler assembly itself and,
Whoa.
well, that last mount was rusted out, so
Yeah.
out it comes. We don't want the transmission to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. That'll do. There's that one. It's raining crud down on top, right on top of me.
Yeah.
There we go. That one was just for comedic effect. One. Oh, this is agony.
It's like RoboCop screw in his head.
Yeah, except this one is valid.
Well, the long screws represent the long reach of OCP.
Oh.
Power,
Oh, gee.
holding him in place.
I never thought of it that way.
Now he's undoing his chains or screws. Guy that gets melted by toxic waste. That's RoboCop washing away the crime from Delta City.
Are these all your own analyses?
Yeah.
Cool.
Off the top of my head.
Wow, dude. Oops.
Yeah, I'm like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, you are. Going up. Look at that.
Wow.
It just kind of fell apart on its own. Does it feel heavy?
No.
Okay, we just want to go gently. Yeah. It almost crushed my hand. And then this thing. Whoa! Nelly! Oh, well, got myself again. Yay!
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that we can get the crane through the door. Nice! Wait a minute. There we go. Alright, so anyway, yeah, the infamous Never Wonderful 1-ton stand didn't work, so I had to take my rotisserie apart. Went into my rotisserie apart so that I could use the infamous and Never Wonderful and 1980s vintage Summit Racing engine stand, which I'll have you know had at one time a 400 cubic inch Pontiac engine on it. So I'm pretty sure it'll hold up this.
There you go. It's much easier.
Why didn't I do that the first time? Oh, Dad. Not instilling confidence in my viewership. Okay, lesson learned. If you've got a shop crane that's got wide splayed legs like this, Do not buy an engine stand that also has wide splayed legs. You will not be able to fit them together. And then let's see what this thing has to say for itself.
Oh boy.
The engine's on the stand. Yay!
Cool.
Yippee skippy.
Undo these, right?
Yeah, do it. That counts as a success. It's going to go back this way.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't seem safe.
Okay, so we're done for today.
Oh,
We're done. Yeah, we're done for today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Good times. It sure was, and I'll see you around the channel.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my daddy, he raised stock cars a long, long time ago at New England's fastest quarter mile, good old Western Road. He and Mom would rally around in their MGTD, but they bought a Porsche 356 the year my mom had me. I was raised by gearheads, this apple fell not far from under Daddy's tillage, messing around with cars.